Hey guys, this is a video about buying your first saltwater reef tank from Craigslist. I bought this tank right here you're looking at for $125 here in California. I actually had to drive about 2.5 hours from San Diego up to Ventura to get it. But this is a 90-gallon tank, and when I got it, I thought the reason I bought a tank that was established that had the fish in it, or some fish, and the live rock and the live sand, was because I wanted a tank that I didn't have to cycle myself. So I had read a little bit about it and learned that it could take up to 4 months to really establish a tank from scratch. So my plan was to buy one that was already ready to go and skip that whole thing, sort of a present for the family for my son's birthday. So I didn't want to get a present for him that was going to take 4 to 6 months to be cool and look nice. So what I learned, because I had no idea, was that the live rock and the live sand that you're looking at has a bunch of microorganisms on it. And when you move it, you kill the microorganisms. So I just read a few things online about how to move a saltwater tank. So I got a 55-gallon drum, and I brought that up and I saved like probably about 70% of the water. So I only let the water come down to about there. So the rest of that I saved and I transported home with me. And then what I did was I stacked that live rock up inside that 55-gallon drum. And then I scooped all that live sand into a couple tubs. Well, little did I know that when I got home, within probably about 5 days, what happened is the tank started to cycle, or I call it a full cycle, but some people call it mini cycle. But anyway, what happened was all the excess nutrients from killing all that bacteria created the brown, was it diatoms or whatever they call it, the brown algae looking stuff, just totally took over the tank and killed a bunch of stuff that I had put in there. And then after that, I knew what was coming next was the green, so I had tons of green algae come on. And then it covered the bottom. As you might be able to tell in this video, there's some stuff on the bottom. It kind of looks like a brown gel. So I don't know if that's silica, I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of algae. I'm a total novice at this, like you may be. I've never had a saltwater tank before in my life. So just a little bit of advice I got about getting a bigger one versus a smaller one. So I went with a 90-gallon. Like I said, it was a great buy on Craigslist. And so I think that's been a good move, because there have been some issues, and I think that having a much higher or larger amount of water means that your problems, or small problems, don't kill everything or become big problems real quick. Like if I had chosen to go with like a 30-gallon nanocube or something like that. So I definitely think it's been a wise move to get the bigger one, and gets a little more respect at the pet store when they ask you how big it is too, it seems. But anyway, so this is part one. So if you're thinking about getting a tank that's established so that you don't have to put it together, just know you are going to get some kind of cycling happening because of the movement of all the live rock and live sand. And it's still going to take some time. I got this tank in July of 2013. It's November now. So I think it's finally to a place where I like it. It's still got some algae issues and things. But I did some modifications. So in part two, I'm going to go over the video of what I did to basically get rid of, as you can see, there's not much on the top here of the tank. And that's because it used to have a canopy, kind of the old style. And I put all the equipment below into a sump. And I watched a couple of New York Steelos videos and some other guys out there to get some ideas. So I'm going to show you that in part two. But anyway, this is part one. And the main point is, if you're going to buy a saltwater tank that's established, you are going to save yourself some time, but you are still going to get a cycle. So just know that going into it, and it could be a good thing. But if you see, you'll notice that the tanks that are all cleaned out on Craigslist, a lot of people don't know there's like a 3 to 4 month process of getting those going, from what I understand. So again, I'm a novice. It's my first one. I might be totally off on some of these things, but this is my experience so far. All right, check out part 2.